Hi, I'm Tori.
And I'm Leah.
And I'm Jessel.
And welcome back to the Boys Lie podcast.
A podcast where we talk about the craziest relationship stories you've ever heard, pop culture, and the piping hot tea of our lives.
So buckle up, enjoy the ride, and remember that Boys Lie.
Boys Lie.
Boys Lie.
Boys Lie.
Boys Lie, y'all.
Boys Lie.
Them boys, they be lying.
Boys Lie.
Hi, guys.
I love you.
I love you guys too.
We
my
are so
gosh.
excited.
I'm so stoked. If anybody doesn't know, which you should know, Jess is on Real Housewives of New York, and she is fabulous and literally one of my favorite people on the show, actually.
I would hope so.
Like,
Better
dead
not
ass,
like anyone else.
You are our favorite. Like, honestly, Tori and I were like screaming when you said yes to come on the show. So like, we are fangirling a little bit over you. We love
no,
you.
and honestly, like I love your guys' vibe. Like it's
thank
the
you.
coolest. Cool girls.
Thank you. We actually we were with Andy Cohen last night, not like exclusively with
We at the
him.
summer house.
Yeah.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
was really fun. And so like I was like, this is a perfect like Bravo
moment.
Yeah.
Universes collide.
It is.
Oh, is that your first time meeting Andy?
No, we were bartenders actually on Watch What Happens Live, and it was
that's awesome.
it was
Yeah.
very cool. But we didn't really get to like hang out as
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
And like at this situation, he was very clearly excited to be there and with the cast.
Yeah.
And he was like schmoozing.
Andy on Watch What Happens is pure business.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't like, crack a like,
He's so impressive
intimidating.
though.
oh, he's so impressive.
Like, cause I love him so much, and I grew up watching Bravo with my mom. Like, it was a thing that we would do when I was in high school, even, and we just like lay down and like watch the Real Housewives, like every single franchise, like obsessed. So like seeing Andy in real life, like the first time, I was like, oh my god, like this is my god. Like honestly, like that's how I view him. And even when he popped in last night, I feel like there's like a light shining down on him. Like that's how I view him.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm just obsessed. So it was really cool.
He is the Bravo god
He
of
is.
like gods. Yeah. I mean,
Oh my gosh. And the other day I was watching It Takes Two, which is like a older movie with it's with the Olsen twins, I believe. And I didn't know that he like produced that movie too.
oh, he did?
Yeah.
But you know, Andy started out as an intern.
No
Like,
way.
He was like, I know he like worked his way up. I mean, to like literally
know that.
like untouchable. But
Holy
yeah,
shit.
he works really, really hard.
Wow.
He's kind of an icon.
He really is the god of all gods.
Were you a Bravo fan before? Because like I know it was like a huge deal when they recast the
Yeah.
Real Housewives of New York. Were you a Bravo fan already, or was it something that was kind of new to you?
It was, so I wasn't really like a Housewives fan necessarily, but my husband is a diehard for Below Deck.
Oh my god.
So I just sort of like, that was my entry point into Bravo. It was actually from Pavitt and his love for,
oh my God, that's
anything
so interesting.
Below Deck.
Do you watch now? Like any of the Real Housewives? Outside of
Yeah,
yours?
so I watch Beverly Hills.
Love.
I'm excited about obviously Salt Lake is like iconic.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just like glued to that.
Leah got me into Bravo, and I feel very new too. Like I'm only like a 2-year, 3-year-ish newbie to the whole Bravo
What are your
world.
favorites?
I love Real Housewives of New York, Real Housewives Salt Lake City, Summer House for sure,
Yeah.
Die Hard.
Yeah.
What are the other ones that we
Well,
like?
I used to really love Orange County and New Jersey too.
Right.
Now I think, I don't want to say, but like I'm not as big of a fan as New Jersey. I do feel like, I don't know why. Like the first season of The Real Housewives of New Jersey was insane.
Oh, and
like,
Real Housewives of New York, by the way.
Yes.
Criminal of me to not mention that. Like, absolutely.
Oh, old school RHONY was like, yeah.
Crazy.
Those women were, I just, every time I see them, I'm just like, oh my God, like how am I following in your first steps? It's very
No,
like,
it's actually
surreal.
so cool. I'm honestly jealous. Like,
But I actually love this season of Real Housewives of New York, and I love the previous one too. This
Yeah.
one was like way more intense.
yes.
Oh yeah. Intense is like an understatement.
Yeah, and it was kind of shocking, and I do like this new side of kind of Bravo, even though I know that's like contrary to what a lot of people will throw at you. I'm sure you've gotten like a lot of mixed reviews, but I think it's great.
Me too.
I think it was, obviously the season was like slow to get started, but we found our groove.
Yeah.
And you know, those emotions are real. Like everything you see is not fabricated. It's
Yeah.
not scripted. Like
Yeah.
the friendships and the dynamics between them are authentic. And
Yeah.
it's I think it's a really interesting group of girls.
Something I really loved, which I didn't think was touched on at all, like enough, or at least in the reunion, was I love how your and Uba's friendship has flourished so much. And I thought it was so special that in the height of like the heat of the last finale episode, you really catered to being there for Uba and making sure that she was okay. And I know that it was such an abrupt like explosion of chaos, and I loved that you just supported her all the way through without questions asked.
No, absolutely. And listen, like Uba has been my biggest advocate and such a great friend to me from day one. Like,
She's just fabulous.
She's
Yeah,
fabulous.
she's amazing.
I love her
Obsessed.
so much.
She's someone that you definitely want in your court. And honestly, like, we have bonded over so many things, but I think the biggest thing we bond over is the fact that, like, we are American transplants, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're not from this country. We share a similar religion and culture. And so she sort of understands where I'm coming from in a lot of those things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think too, sometimes when she'll take things like so literally, like our English dictionary is so widespread and we
Yeah.
have so much sarcasm too. And I think that sometimes that's just misinterpreted and people are so quick to judge her, I
Yeah.
think, for that.
She is so witty and she's
so funny.
super
Clever.
smart. Yeah, she is beyond. She's probably the smartest one
And
on that
you can
cast, 'cause
tell.
she reads
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, she does. I think she seems very intuitive, and like
Yeah.
it was also really beautiful, like watching the reunion and the way that she was like talking to Brynn in that moment too. And I know that you had your moment with Brynn as well, and it was, I want to say, like, it was heartbreaking seeing you break down, especially hearing that what Brynn said about like you and Pavitt and all of that stuff, and like I can't even imagine how I would feel in that moment. And so like how did you?
I would be
find the
furious and,
forgiveness
like-
in your heart, I guess, to like.
It was really tough. I think with Brynn, like, you have to sort of take a step back and understand that I don't think she's malicious. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think she sits there and plots like this stuff. I think she just doesn't think things through. And she doesn't understand the repercussion of her actions in
Right.
the moment. I mean, in the moment, but even like after the fact, like, you guys, I was shook when she came into my dressing room and was like, "Hey, Jay." what's
Yeah,
up?"
I
Like,
know. I was, as a viewer, I was like, what?
I mean,
What
I
is
was
happening?
rattled, especially
Yeah.
because if that was me on a show, I mean, my husband would be devastated
Yeah,
too.
Pavitt was, and that's why I was so upset because, you know, I can take it, but Pavitt's very sensitive. Like,
Right.
when it
you don't
comes
want to
to
hurt him
relationship.
either.
Oh,
Like,
you know,
it's your bestie.
it was. I just saw the look on his face, and I was like, "This is so like effed up." And
Yeah.
I have to like make sure she understands. She can't like rattle with my
No,
relationship.
that's, like, off
the
limits.
card.
Yeah.
it's not like on the table for you to mess with. And you know, she definitely felt like remorse, but I mean, I don't think she understands the weight of like her actions.
No, and that's the part
Yeah.
that shocked me the most. It was like, even though she said sorry, the accountability, like,
Yeah.
weight of it all wasn't really pushed forward by her. Like, it was always like, I'm sorry, but and
Right.
it's not like, I really genuinely can't believe I did that. And I just maybe asked for a little too much attention in the height of heights of the moment.
I think she plays defense, and you know, in some respect, I wish she would just be like, okay, like, to get over this and to like resolve whatever we've got like going on. Like, let me just fully own up to like the things that I did. I think with Brynn, like, look, it's complicated because I think the way she deals with like conflict is to just kind of like erase and rewind. Like,
Yeah.
no, sorry, erase and fast forward, not rewind.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, that's how she's had a very like traumatic upbringing. And I think
Yeah.
that's just how she like deals.
Yeah, it's just like saying things. I think she does. I'm like,
it's not
as a viewer,
it's not her fault, but it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt.
right?
I think
'Cause
that's
I was
more
gonna
so.
say too, like, if it were me and like, let's say like my partner was on a show and he was with his guy friends, or his guy friends were saying that about me or about him, and I was like watching, I would be like, I understand why Pavitt would have been upset, even though I truly believed your side, and I think I hope a lot of people,
All the women did.
everyone
Like,
did,
yeah.
But still, like, to have that said, and then you have to pick up the pieces with your relationship and like kind of be like, that
Right.
like isn't the truth. Like, I can't imagine. So like, I am really sorry, and I felt like your pain, especially when you broke down and started to cry. Like, it was a heartbreaking moment,
I never
but
cried, and I was so upset about my makeup. I was like, oh my god,
No, your
like,
makeup stayed through.
Yeah, it
You look
did.
fabulous.
I used the new Fenty like makeup spray thing. It's
yeah.
so good. But
I have to switch over.
yeah, you got to switch over.
Yeah.
It's actually amazing. But my makeup artist at that point, you know, had left because we'd been there the whole day.
yeah.
So I was more upset that like I couldn't get a freaking touch up. Like,
well, it looked good, honestly.
Yeah,
and then
thank you.
Andy was like, hand her a tissue. I don't want her makeup to be ruined. I was like, thank God someone
I know,
said
but
that.
you know when you cry, then the Kleenex leaves little
Yeah.
fluff. Like, that's what
Yeah.
my face looked like, completely destroyed after that.
No,
No.
I think
Damn
you
it.
still look stunning.
Thank you.
yeah.
My other question, I guess, about friendships within this show is, how are you and Aaron right now? Like, is everything okay?
What I've learned going through this process now twice is that you can't be best friends with everybody. I think with Erin, we've tried, and I've come to the sort of conclusion that we're very different. You know, and that sort of informs like how I think our relationship will progress. Like
Yeah.
we just are very different. We connect on things that, you know, aren't necessarily like the things that I connect with my friends on all the time.
Yeah.
So
As a viewer, I was just like so shocked because I feel like you have been so constantly in her corner, and like you are an advocate for her. Like
Yeah.
you truly have been so supportive to her.
Yeah.
And it was so disappointing to see like how she lied about just the conversation by the pool. Like that was bizarre to me, and
I
she
felt
kind
like
of
it was
blamed it
kinda
on Sai a little
gaslighty.
bit. and-
Yeah.
she did throw Cyprin under the bus.
Yeah.
But I think that it's a pattern.
Yeah.
So I just come to terms with the fact that we're very different.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, I've tried. I'm not really going to try anymore.
Yeah,
I
no,
get
and
that.
I don't think you even need to. Like, I think what you've done and the way you've carried yourself has been really beautiful throughout. And I hope you know that. Like, as a viewer,
Yeah.
it was really impressive to see that.
Thank you.
I do want to say, like, the pregnancy rumor was very strange. Like, I don't know why. Because I thought
with
like,
Erin and,
I thought it was like it's
Becky.
a very sensitive topic. Like, there's so many people out there that are like trying to get pregnant, and I feel like to like kind of like pretend and make something like that up, it just felt like really immature and very 8th grade. I was shocked that they like why would they do that? I just don't get it.
I mean, you and me both, sister. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, that's why I didn't question.
Yeah, of course.
Like
Yeah.
I was definitely questioning the fact that it was someone else's kid because
Yeah.
I don't see Rebecca in that way. Like
Right.
she's like a family woman. Like she's
Yeah.
a great mother, great wife.
Right.
But I never questioned the pregnancy part of it because I don't think I've ever met anyone that would like lie about
Right.
that.
That's why I was like setting you guys up for like, I feel like no matter what you would have said, it would have looked bad if it was true.
Yeah.
So
Because
I just
imagine I
thought that-
questioned her and she was pregnant.
Right.
Like, that's
Yeah.
effed up.
I know. That was really weird.
And I'm
Yeah.
going to sound like an Erin hater, but that's not where I'm coming from at all. But also the fact that Erin doubled down on like the joke that she had produced with Becky. The joke, I don't know. I don't even know how it was a joke, but
It wasn't a joke. That's
was just, like,
that's
odd.
the thing. And again, like I think it was poor taste. I know for sure Rebecca feels like, wow, I made a big mistake in sort of following through with that.
Yeah.
But you live and you learn. I mean, maybe in the moment after a couple of margaritas, you're like, oh, well, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Bizarre.
it was
but-
bizarre.
Have you spoken to Bryn or Becky or Rebecca?
Oh yeah, Rebecca and I like are super close. We
Okay.
speak all the time.
Aw.
I'm really sad that she's not going to continue with RHONY, but I completely understand. It was tough for her.
Yeah.
She has a lot going on, and I think that for her, it was a bit of a learning curve. Like it was hard for her to
Look, at least she tried it.
She did.
Yeah. I
and
was
she
gonna
made the
say.
efforts, and like that's all. You
Yeah.
can't knock someone for trying.
You cannot knock someone. And I wish that she was given another chance, or she wanted to give it another chance. But, I think that she just realized it's not the path that was made sense for her.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Bryn I have spoken to, not very much, but we did have a conversation. I just wanted to make sure she was okay.
That's nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everything she's dealing with is like extremely hard. And it's just like, I can't imagine what she went through either. So like, it was a really, really emotional season. And I
Yeah.
think I was not expecting that from the beginning. And I don't think anyone knew like where it was going to go. So
Yeah.
like, I don't even know how to like explain it just because like it hurt my heart seeing everything and like the Uba situation. Like there's no,
You could just tell
so
Uba's so
messy.
emotionally like connected to Bryn in that way. And I thought that something that was amazing is most people, and even with certain seasons of like any of the Real Housewives, they're very quick to come to defense before taking accountability or
Right.
saying I'm sorry. And immediately, rather than coming to defense in this circumstance, which was huge. And again, everyone comes at Uba for being like reactive. Uba's reaction was so pleasant. It was so kind and forgiving.
Yeah.
And she even immediately apologized to Bryn too. And like, I thought that was it just showed so much about Uba's character.
I agree.
Yeah, it must have been very hard for her to do that. She's definitely swallowed her pride
Yeah.
and, wanted to put her best foot forward. But I think that was Uba's way of like moving forward for
Yeah.
herself, not for anyone else.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Forgiveness, we were just talking this yesterday, like forgiveness is also selfishness because
Yeah.
like you if you hold on to that resentment with somebody, like it's just poison in your own body.
Absolutely.
So it's almost like better to just like
to let go.
let go, but still
And she has so much going for her. I mean, guys, her boyfriend is like amazing.
I love that for
Oliver,
her.
oh my goodness. Like, she has such a bright future ahead of her. And I
Yeah.
don't think that she wanted to let something like this weigh her down.
Definitely
like she's
not.
such a star and
Yeah.
she deserves like nothing but the best.
I
So-
agree. And also like back to Rebecca too, just like to swing back for a second, like coming in as a new person must be really hard.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine that either. Do you think that they will find somebody else to come in for your next season?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, there's this thing about, coming into an existing sort of like formation of friends, right?
Right.
Like
It's
it's
probably
very
intimidating.
daunting. It's like being
Yeah.
the new girl at school. And I don't think Rebecca was welcomed like in
I
as
agree
openly
with
as she
that.
should have.
Was there like pre-beef with anybody or something?
No.
It felt a little bit like everyone kind of
Yeah,
like kind of didn't even want to give her a chance.
No.
You did it, like you did, but like I feel like some of the other girls, like I don't know.
And
it
by
just
the way,
felt-
working in retail too, I mean, we're not in Nordstrom Rack, but like that that joke was so, I mean, Bryn's very witty, but that joke was like very harsh because being in the clothing industry, like you have to scale your business in certain types of ways. And I mean, now there are huge brands that are in Nordstrom Rack. I mean, you can
offload
buy a
inventory,
Birkin at
yeah.
Walmart.
I know.
I know. It's
Like-
kind of like a stab, like it's like hitting below the belt.
Yeah.
Like
It was, she goes for the jugular.
Yeah.
And I think that like really like put a bad taste in Rebecca's mouth, as it should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she also was just like, I have built $100 million business.
Yes.
Like, you're telling me that
Yeah.
my stuff is like, not good enough.
Yeah.
Like,
by your standards.
by your standards, you
Yeah.
don't have your own like company. Like,
I know.
it was a little bit like hypocritical, the whole thing.
I agree. But I think for me, it's like as a fashion company, again, like you have to offload inventory regardless at the end of the
Right.
year. So like no matter where it goes, like you're still making money.
It's still
so, like,
revenue.
yeah,
It's
it's
still
still
revenue
revenue, and like
stream.
she's still getting And I used to have. I honestly still would buy it, but like I used to have so many Rebecca Minkoff bags. Like that was like my favorite bag.
It was like the it thing in high school. I
Yeah.
feel like, to
Absolutely.
have.
By the way, it's so funny. I did Rebecca's launch in LA. So I was working with a PR agency in LA, and she was opening her store on Melrose. And I actually did that launch for her. And the amount of like success that she gets, the amount of eyeballs, the amount of people that are
Yeah.
excited for her business, like it's unlike anything.
right. So like no one can take that away from her.
No,
like
hell
no
no.
matter.
And that's why I
what.
think she was so like whatever. Like you're
Yeah.
an annoying like.
she handled it well.
Yeah.
I think.
She's very smart and
Yeah.
she knows how to handle conflict. So
Yeah. I do wish we got to see a little bit more of Pavitt this season. I love like seeing you guys, like even when you guys were doing your couples therapy meeting and he was like eating the guac. I was like, honestly, I like felt like that was like so me. Like I would do something like that just because like I was hungry. So like I wish we got to see a little bit more of him. Do you think we'll get to see more of like your relationship
I hope
next
so.
season? I hope so too.
I do hope so. I mean, Pavitt is like his own planet.
He's
Like,
so funny.
He's in his own orbit.
So
like,
funny. Seeing your two little like boys running around too is so cute.
I wish they showed more of the twins too, because they're so funny.
They are.
Like they cut this entire scene out where Kai put like a napkin over his head and was trying to eat spaghetti through it. And I was just like, guys, this is hilarious like stuff. But Pavitt is, just to go back to him, I was shook that he absorbed being on TV as naturally as he has.
Yeah.
Like I thought, he would be like weird and awkward and like shy and like run away from the cameras, but he has embraced it. Like,
Oh my
to
God,
the
he should
point
have
where-
a food show, like a traveling
Like
food
do
show.
mukbangs or something.
Yeah.
Guys at NBC, do you hear that? Like, where I think he does or is working on.
Oh,
a few
cool.
episodes.
Oh my God. And that'd be fun if you guys did it together too.
I know how
That'd be so
hilarious would that
fun.
be?
I would love that. Honestly, yeah.
A
Love
girl
you
that
guys.
doesn't eat and a guy that eats everything.
Yeah. Do any of the wives, like the kids, all hang out together?
I've had some play dates with like Erin's kids. I think her middle child Elijah is the same age as the twins, a little bit older. But yeah, we've had some play dates. But it's weird because like Sai's kids are older. Erin has like almost like a.
She's like a whole roster.
She has like a
Middle
whole
school?
like.
Are they middle school? Her kids?
Levi is.
They're
I think.
older.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's older.
Yeah.
But now she's gonna have a baby. So
I know. It's good for her.
4 kids.
Congratulations.
My God.
Yeah.
God bless her.
Wow.
Do you think you'd ever let your kids watch the show when they grow up?
So it's so funny. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer of season 2, but
I feel like we watched. I don't
don't
watched
remember
whole
seeing the
thing.
trailer.
it was
Yeah.
like me walking through Times Square and there was pigeons.
Oh yes,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they all were going crazy.
Made me like repeat that. Like it was on a loop.
That was so funny
for like days because they found it so funny that I was
so
scared of the
funny.
birds.
And you're like, ah!
I know. I was like, ah.
That
They
was
would
hilarious.
laugh so hard and roll around on the floor. They thought it was
That's
hilarious.
so
I actually have to
cute.
post that because it was so good.
Oh
That
my
was such a good
God.
scene. I forgot about that. Like honestly,
That was really
hilarious.
funny.
But
yeah.
no, that's the extent of it. I don't know if I would want my kids to
to
watch.
watch. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they probably will
Bunch of
eventually. but
crazies,
yeah. When you're filming, I'm sure. How many months is it? Like 3 or
Like 4.
do they? How much like would you say they actually cut out?
It's hard to tell. I mean, I think, there's so much material. And I feel like, as editors, they have to follow like the storyline through. So maybe 30%.
Okay, that's not as bad as I thought. I thought you were gonna say way more than that.
Yeah. There are obviously things that I wish were like, I think us working, like we don't just have lunch and talk shit about people
Right.
like 24/7. Like we actually have jobs where we're constantly busy, events, this, that, and the other. And I feel like I would love for that to be shown more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what New York is.
Yeah.
It's your network. It's what you do.
Especially in the springtime, I feel like New York like flourishes.
Oh, yeah.
I do feel like in the first season they did that like a little bit more. Maybe it was so like we could get to know you guys and like who you were. But yeah, I agree. I'd love to see your day to day.
Yeah.
That's
agreed.
interesting to me.
Speaking
Agreed.
of the first season versus this season, how's your relationship with Sai? Because I feel like it's like developed actually for the better.
Yeah.
In second season versus the first season, it seemed like you guys were like more anti.
Yeah, we definitely went through some like teething.
Yeah.
But I always knew that Sai and I would get along.
Yeah.
So, I think it was just like we had to get over that initial hump. But
Right.
we're super close. I speak to her every day. I was with her almost every day for Fashion Week. We're probably sick of each other at this point. But it's, we have the same group of friends. We
Yeah.
have like so much common ground. And, I feel like she's so funny and we have the same sense of humor. She has a very dry,
Yeah.
sarcastic sense of humor.
I love that, by the way.
Yeah, same.
I
Yeah,
think it's
oh,
really
she's
funny.
hilarious.
Yeah.
So like, with Sai, I'm like, we're great.
I do
Amazing.
think in this season, especially, like, you can tell that she's been putting in the work with therapy. I feel like she seems a lot more, like, cool, calm, and collected compared to last season. And I know she's also been through a lot. So, like, I love seeing that side of her, too.
Yeah.
And seeing your guys' friendship. Like, you guys, I'm just obsessed. You guys are my favorite.
Oh,
I know.
Yeah.
And I think it's true. Like, you can't really get to know someone in 14 episodes,
No.
Like, I think that for her, she is someone in real life that takes a while to, like, really open up
Right.
to people. And I think that comes from, her background, too.
Yeah.
Like, she's also had a really tough upbringing. And so she's not, like, for me, I'm like, oh, my God, you're my best friend. I meet you in 1 second. I think for her, it takes time for her to trust people.
That makes sense. I feel like you're kind of like that.
I am.
And I'm kind of like, hi.
I'm more like a
yeah.
cat. Like it
Yeah.
takes me a sec to warm up to people.
I remember when we were like, when I lived here, I used to be like, Tori, when we like meet these girls, we just like smile. And she was like, what? I am smiling.
Resting bitch face.
Yeah.
I love it too.
It's the Botox. I don't know.
Right. I mean, you can't actually move your face, so why not?
Have you guys already started filming yet for season 3?
We have not.
Okay.
I think that, we obviously, I'm sure you've seen the casting notice.
Yeah.
I think that there's going to be some tweaks that will be made.
Yeah.
So TBD on what those are.
Interesting,
And,
yeah.
But I really hope that whatever changes are made, that they bring in fun.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what we want to see.
Yeah.
It's like, I just want someone to like be ridiculous with.
And you always are like so positive. I think we were talking this like the other day, like especially after we watched the reunion, like you have like a really good positive aura about you. And I think that no matter who comes in, like we'll feel probably very comfortable like with you there, especially just like knowing that you are that light.
Yeah. I mean, I have some fabulous friends that want to be on the show.
Oh, really?
So I'm hoping that one of them makes the cut.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be on TV nowadays.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
let's see.
That's true.
That's
I could
true.
never. I
I can't
Oh,
love
I feel like you guys would be so good.
Really?
I just
I'd be terrified.
I love watching, and I feel like it's like you don't want to meet your like what is it? You don't want to meet like your favorite celebrity. Like I feel like because I love reality TV so much, like I can never do it myself.
Right.
Like, I just feel like it would ruin it for me.
It's tough though, like watching yourself. I mean, imagine like when you see a picture that you're tagged in, you're like, I hate the way I look.
No,
Even
I get it.
podcasting,
I know,
like
I'm like,
watching
I have a
ourselves
Band-Aid.
back sometimes,
You
or
look great.
or even listening to ourselves. I'm like, oh my God, my voice. It's like listening to your own voicemail. You're
Yeah.
just like,
I know you're like squeaky and
Yeah.
awkward and weird.
Yeah.
But it's a lot.
oh my God.
Well,
Should we jump into story time?
Yeah, but I think before we do always like to ask our guests, and you can plead the fifth if you want to, but we do like to ask if you have like a Boys Lie story that you're willing to share. It can be like from high school, college, like, or it could be with like a friend breakup. Anything that you would like to share with our audience?
Oh God, you guys have put me on the spot. Okay, like since we're doing the petty things
Yeah.
that
Yes.
you do, okay. So I had a boyfriend in high school that I was obsessed with, and I was always very paranoid and like my self confidence like wasn't what it is now in
Yeah.
high school. Like I was this awkward, like not very cute girl, and so I was so obsessed with the boyfriend and. I was always very paranoid that like he would leave me for someone else.
Okay.
So I created like a fake, like I had a fake telephone line.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah, and I like would always test him, and I would pretend to be this other girl.
No way.
Yeah.
Did he respond?
Yeah. But he was very PC, but I
Oh my
like definitely
God.
couldn't do the ringer with it.
Wait, I
Oh my
love
God.
that.
It was a little bit like catfish.
It's such a good like
That's girls'
sneaky way
lie
to
story.
check.
Yeah.
I love that.
It
Well,
is.
I was like, yeah, it's a good test. You know, are you a dick
Yeah.
or are you not?
Yeah, no, at least he passed.
He
That's
definitely
smart.
passed.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I might have to do that to my boyfriend.
Yeah,
now.
you should.
On that note, we're jumping into story time. If you guys would like to share your Boys Lie story anonymously on the Boys Lie podcast, please submit via boyslieofficial.com. And if your story gets chosen to be on the podcast, you win a free sweatsuit. And in this case, we are doing our February giveaway. So the stories we're reading today actually will win the entire February collection. So we are very stoked to read these petty stories.
Yes, so excited. Jessel, do you want to read first?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Really putting you on the spot today.
I know. God, this is a novel. Okay. So this story is a little bit crazy. It's been a few years since this happened. This was my senior year of high school. Essentially, I'd been dating this guy for 2 years, and we broke up the summer before my senior year. At this time, I had a friend who would come into my work every single day and help me get over the breakup. I told her really personal things that I didn't want anyone else to know about the relationship. I wasn't trying to get anything fixed. I was just trying to vent about the situation. But the week before senior year, she basically ghosts me. Ooh. She ghosts me, and I was thinking we were such good friends that whole summer. And I'm like, why would you ghost me? We had plans to do all things senior together. But then we got to school, and I see her and my ex-boyfriend, walking in the hallway holding hands. And I heard that they had been dating for, what? They've been dating for a while. So obviously I absolutely should be pissed. I'm livid, so upset. Why would you use information about my ex-boyfriend to get closer to him after you knew everything he did to me? Wow, that's shady.
That's like Raquel.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
going to say that's like very
Scandal.
scandal.
That
Yeah.
is so
Crazy.
crazy. So basically, here's where the revenge part comes in. His mom and I were still very close, and his mom does not like his new girlfriend. And he has a baby sister who's 3 years old at the time. And he was always working. So the mom would text me to come babysit. Ooh, this is like crazy. So basically, I created this plan. And okay, the plan is crazy apparently. He would get ingrown hairs on his beard. And I knew he had a problem with this. I was thinking, I was like, I don't need birth control. So what I did one day was when I was babysitting the 3-year-old, I crushed up my birth control like powder and mixed it with his bump stopper cream. Wait, so that it would stop the ingrown, he would put it on his face to stop the ingrown hair. He would be getting female birth control, which would affect his hormones.
Oh my God, how did she think of that?
That is crazy, you
Also,
guys.
does that actually affect your
Estrogen maybe on your skin.
Yeah, because it's progesterone.
Oh yeah, progesterone.
Did he grow boobs? Like what?
I don't
the hell
know.
happened? Okay.
on his chin?
Oh my God, I have no idea.
On his chest? I don't know.
So she says she didn't know if it would work. But then when I went back to his house and when he wasn't there and he was on a weekend trip with his girl and his mom was on the phone with him, he had developed erectile dysfunction from the estrogen. Okay, I'm stunted.
This
in
was-
high school?
This is so cruel.
Oh my God.
His lab showed that he suddenly had too much estrogen, and it was causing erectile dysfunction. So then he had issues with his new girlfriend, aka her ex-best friend. And she thinks that she got successful revenge. Yeah, girl, you did.
Oh my God, that's diabolical.
Diabolical.
I feel like that's too evil for me. Like, I think that, like, that's messing with someone's, like, chemical balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're messing with his pee-pee.
Yeah.
Also, like, how did you think of that?
Also, if
pretty
I was the
genius.
mother and I
Yeah.
found that out, I would be furious.
yeah, because she's like letting her into her home
And drug-
babysitting the 3-year-old. Meanwhile, she should be watching the 3-year-old. Also, love you. You're getting the entire February collection.
Yeah,
so
like,
I am so sorry.
so stoked
But,
for
like,
you,
the
by the
mother
way.
let you into the home to babysit the 3-year-old, and
Oh.
you are just
drugging?
Drugging, I
Is
guess.
is drugging the right term?
Yeah, you are
Dosing?
drugging. I mean, it's pills.
Like putting. How did she think to crush up her birth control pills and put it in a cream?
yeah, did you
mixture.
Google
Yeah,
that?
did
or
you
Does it
something?
absorb?
I guess. Wait, so like, could you technically, never mind. I'm like, could you like use birth control and like lotion? Like, how does that work?
Does it absorb?
I don't know.
I imagine it would, right? Because
I
if it goes into your
guess.
skin.
But like, that is so crazy. She's like, I'm gonna make sure that he can't have sex with his new girlfriend.
Yeah. And
That's
she
wild.
says that like her ex-friend got like a complex because she did think that he was into her.
Yeah, because like he would never get a erection when they were together. So she's probably like, he hates me.
And she said they both still stalk her Insta. Yeah, girl.
Well, there you go.
Wait, I wonder. I mean, I'm sure. Did they ever? I guess she didn't say, but did they ever find out that she did that?
I don't think so.
Okay, well,
I mean, yeah.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
You won the
Bravo.
entire-
That's yes, Oscar winning.
Amazing. You won the entire February collection.
Literally, yes. Give her the collection right now.
All right, here's our second winner. Let me tell you about when I was 25 and found out my boyfriend, who was 29 of 5 years, was cheating on me with one of our best friends, who was a 28-year-old, and how I got revenge. The story starts 2 years after we bought our first home together. My now ex Josh goes on a road trip to Nashville for his birthday with his friend Nicole, and in quotation she puts rotten bitch, and second best friend Brandon. The three of them have been friends since 5th grade. To set up some backstory, Josh and Nicole previously hooked up twice prior to him meeting me and her getting married, in all caps. Because of this, I had always been hesitant of their close friendship. However, I trusted them both. We get it. I'm a dumbass. On their road trip, Josh stopped messaging me on day 3, sending one-off texts that he was just busy and couldn't talk. Okay.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Immediate red flag.
Once he returned, he seemed distant, but I chose to chalk it up to him being stressed at work. 2 months passed, during which he was avoiding me in our own home and hanging out with Nicole multiple times a week. At this point, my intuition kicks in, and I'm fully aware this man has likely been cheating on me. I confront him. He gaslights me for weeks, blaming it on my BPD, calling me crazy, telling me I'm insane, and finally, 3 weeks later, after being gaslit from hell and back, he comes home from work sobbing and admits that he's been cheating on me with Nicole since their road trip.
Oh, God.
I was devastated, she says. Now, point of the story where my dumb ass really kicks in, I actually stayed with him. I fucking stayed with him for another year. Look, I was so fully in love and I was so dumb. I can recognize the stupidity at this point and laugh about it. The next year was hell. Full ups and downs of our relationship, of me trying to forgive him, but ultimately just growing more and more resentful with each day. So I decided to get even. I never claimed to be a good person. If there's one thing about me, you know, if you put me through hell, then I'll drag you down to suffer with me.
Oh.
I fear this woman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually, after a year of trying to make it work, I call it off, move out of our home, which he still couldn't afford on his own, and was left with no other option than to sell his dream house. Now listen, we have a big group of mutual friends. I mean, we were together for 5 years, so about 2 months after we broke up, a friend's birthday rolls around. At this party, it's one of Josh's best friends, Evan, who's 29 years old, whom Josh had to move in with after selling the house. He's hitting on me all night, something he did multiple times while I was with Josh.
The friend is hitting on her?
The Evan whose birthday party
Okay.
it is, he's hitting on her. And Josh lives with him, and after they had to sell their house.
Got it.
Or he had to sell their house. Something he did multiple times when I was with Josh, and that repulsed me, and that I never acted out on just from my love and loyalty with my partner. Well, things changed, she says with a smiley face. Somewhere in between our friend's birthday and Josh crying to me outside, begging me to take him back because he's absolutely lost it without me, Evan and I sneak off and have sex in the bathroom. I decided, as petty as that might have been, I'm not going to say anything, ... See, I was playing the long game, ... And knowing that his friend would feel guilty eventually, I knew Josh would find out sooner than later. And flash forward 4 months, December of 2024, I get a text from Josh. Evan confessed what happened months and months after of leading Josh on that I would consider getting back with him. Him texting me saying, "What the fuck, you fucked Evan. I feel so betrayed. How could you?" To which I simply replied, "It doesn't feel great, does it? At least he made me come," and then blocked his number.
Oh.
Found out from mutuals that he's now moved on and is living with his parents. And his friend, Nicole, well, she never told her husband about the months-long affair. So I printed out screenshots of their text messages, Josh's long apologies about him cheating on me, etc., and I mailed it to her home. I found out last week they're actually getting a divorce. To sum up my petty revenge after having been cheated on of my boyfriend of 5 years, I caused him to sell his home, check. Fucked his best friend / roommate, check. Gaslit him for months that I wanted to be with him, check. Rocked his world by confirming, I fucked said friend, check. Told Nicole's husband, soon to be ex, that she cheated, check. Because I wanted to have him move back in with his parents, check. Oh, caused him to have to move back in with his parents. Oh my God, check. I may not be proud of what I did, but damn, does it feel good?
Yes, girl.
Oh my God.
She could be on Real
RHONY.
Housewives.
I know.
Wait,
You deserve an apple.
crazy.
That is quite the revenge.
That is gnarly, but yeah, congratulations. You also have won the entire February collection, and honestly, I fear you.
check.
I don't have the patience for that.
Yeah,
that is so much like planning. That is like a master manipulator.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fuck his best friend. I know in a couple of months his best friend's gonna feel so guilty. He's gonna end up telling him, and in those couple of months I'm gonna lead him on pretending that I want to get back with him. And I'm also gonna ruin this girl's relationship because she fucked my boyfriend and he cheated on me with her or her
The husband and divorce situation. Whoa.
Which also, like, honestly, not that it's her place to tell him. It should be Nicole telling her husband that she cheated on him, but like at least someone told him
At least he
like,
knows.
Poor guy.
yeah, like he unfortunately was thrown into the mix of this, but like
Yeah.
this is why I'm like, I don't really want Kevin to have like female best friends or to go on like a long road trip with them. Like I just like don't like that. I wouldn't want that. I feel like that's weird. And also I would never go on a road trip with my best guy friend unless he was gay. Like, I feel like that's weird.
Yeah, I was about to say like,
where you
like,
guys sleeping?
I've hung out with Aiden or whatever, but he's like
Gay.
Yeah, gay
Like,
as a sunny day, and like
so gay.
Today is a sunny day. Yeah. Moral of the story: don't cheat.
Yeah. And also, good job planning that whole thing.
Yeah,
That
the
was
checklist
crazy.
well
Ultimate
written.
Revenge. Ultimate.
Ultimate. Okay, here's the last story. It starts, I don't know if this is petty or fully justified, but I was once dating a dude who loved to party in the most rambunctious and arguably annoying sense. But as wonderful and amazing and sweet as a girlfriend that I was, I would often offer or sometimes be voluntold to be the drunk driver. Or sorry, not drunk driver, the designated driver. Oh my God. She put DD and I just immediately say drunk driver. She's a DD. One night in particular, after feeling ill for 8 hours at work, he rallied me to attend a party with him under several conditions. He would drive and therefore would take it easy on the drinking so we could both have an overall chill night and then leave the party early. Fun fact, he was a liar before this night, on this night, and after this night. So we go to the party and he ditched me within seconds of walking through the front door, leaving me to fend for myself in a house full of randoms for literally hours. At some point, he did come find me curled up on the stranger's couch, and I, visibly annoyed and still feeling ill, suggested that he make this beer his last before he became a disappearing act yet again. I should mention, and this is important, that he drove a Standard. I think she's in Canada, so I think that's a stick shift. In Canada.
Standard,
Okay,
yeah.
a Standard. And she says, and I, just a girl, did not, except for that one time he tried to teach me, which resulted in me having a full-blown panic attack, the first of many, but I digress. I get it.
I totally understand.
it's hard.
Respectfully.
When he finally returned to find me in the exact same spot on the couch, he, now visibly annoyed, proclaimed that he was ready to leave and that the car was already running. I asked if he was good to drive, and he made it seem insane that I would even ask that. Of course he was. Plot twist, he was not.
Oh no.
We flew down country roads in the pitch black, swerving and overtaking other cars, my hands with a death grip on the passenger side handle. If we weren't in the middle of nowhere with limited cell reception, I would have demanded he pull over and let me out. We had just arrived back into town when he got a phone call from a girl's voice who I recognized as one of his friends from the party, and she put in parentheses, that's another story. He was not too shy to say that he was annoyed that I made him leave early, and I could overhear her egging him on and begging him to come back. He was still on the phone as we pulled into the driveway, and he shooed me inside. I then watched as his headlights faded into nothing, and he tore down the street, presumably back to the party without saying a word.
Ew, he shoot her inside. Gross.
Yeah. I called him, no answer. I texted him, no response. And it was in that moment I thought, you dumb motherfucker. In an effort that I can only describe as a civic duty to the safety of others, I called an anonymous non-emergency line to report a drunk driver. And then I waited. Sure enough, less than 30 minutes later, he miraculously, I can't say that word, miraculously regained the ability to contact his girlfriend and called me from the side of the road where he had been detained, his car impounded, and with the audacity that only a man could muster, he demanded that I pick him up from the police station. In my defense, if he wasn't already on his way back to the party to see the girl he had already been cheating on me with, he wouldn't have been on the route I told the police that he was driving on. And if he wasn't drunk and ultimately endangering the lives of not only himself but everyone else, he wouldn't have blown over. And if he hadn't ditched his sick girlfriend after already narrowly escaping the death trap that was our drive home, he wouldn't have to spend the night in jail and lose his driver's license. Needless to say, it was long overdue when we broke up shortly after during an argument about why he couldn't do his own dishes when he was home all day.
So this,
And
she
he
calls
also
the cops
now
on
he
him.
can never drive.
Yeah, gets him a DUI, and then she stays with him, and they break up shortly after over the
'Cause he didn't do
dishes.
his- I mean, honestly, like, I feel like I have no problem with this. Like, he's drunk driving. Like, you're so
Right.
right. He's endangering others. Like,
Reckless.
he's endangering himself, and he's going back to see the girl. Like, I think I would maybe.
But
do
I
the
wouldn't stay with
same.
him.
No, me
That
either.
would have been
I'd
him
be
even
like,
calling
yeah,
me
that
to come
would've-
get him. That would have been it.
Be like, stay in jail,
Crazy.
learn your lesson, go be with that girl that you left the party or left.
Yeah, call
me to go
her.
be- yeah. So honestly, crazy story. This is
insane. That is actually, I do approve of this pettiness.
yeah. You could have saved some. You could have saved his life, honestly. So
And
Or actually
others.
someone
Dead.
else's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Good job. This was these stories. Also, we got so many submissions. So like they were really hard to choose from. These were we found the pettiest. So congratulations to the 3 winners who are receiving this
Woo.
entire collection.
We're so stoked for you. And this will come out next week.
And we learned something.
Yeah.
Erectile dysfunction, guys.
Yeah, we did. I wonder if people are going to take that and use it, honestly. That's crazy.
yeah, birth control and the
Yep.
man's shaving cream or something.
Pavan, if you're
Insane.
listening, watch out.
Beware.
Well, thank you so much, Jessel. We love you. We're going to continue to be huge fans of you. And we're so excited to see everything that you do. And thank you so much for
Oh,
coming
thank
on
you
the
guys
show.
are so adorable.
And fingers crossed also for Pava and show situation.
Yes.
yeah,
potentially
well,
your main viewer.
Watch his face.
And
Oh my
for your
God.
friend as
Yes,
well. Hopefully
yes.
she'll be casted.
Yes.
Putting a prayer in
Fingers
there.
crossed.
I know.
All right. Well, thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
We love
Thank you.
you.
On that note,
Bye.
buckle up.
Enjoy the ride.
And remember that boys lie.
Boys Lie.
Boys lie.
Boys Lie.
Boys lie, y'all. Boys lie.
Them boys, they be lying.
Boys lie.